If you want to improve your quality of life, stick around and I'll teach you how. We have an absolute epidemic of chronic illness, which is 80% man-made, and we need to do something about it. We can't just sit there and think, let's just pop a pill and fix everything. That's not going to work. We've tried that for 50 years. It's time for a new way. A new way that doesn't cost money, anyone can do it. Don't care how poor you are, if you're homeless. I developed this system when I was homeless, and now I own a hotel. So I want to teach you what I did to reverse all of my medical conditions. I lost a lot of weight. This was me. You can't quite see on there. That was me when I was 15 years old. I was 100 kilos. I was chronically ill. I had chronic pain every day. I had asthma. I could barely breathe when I walked up the stairs. I had constant joint pain, full body pain, just non-stop pain every day. And on top of that, I was bullied relentlessly for being fat. And that all combines into really shitty mental health. And I was suicidal for most of my school life. But I found a way out, and I'm going to show you how I did it. So, if you want to improve your mental health, improve your physical health, reduce chronic pain, reduce the risk of chronic disease, improve your quality of life, achieve your dreams, make more money, and help other people do the same, then you need to do what I've called the BPM Lifestyle. BPM Lifestyle is how to turn your dreams into physical reality, and that includes your health. Because without your mental health, your physical health is pointless. Without both, you can't achieve your dreams. So with my system, we'll work on improving your mental health first, then that leads to improved physical health. And when you work on those two things, then chronic pain will get better, maybe not 100%. My chronic pain went down 95% within 3 months of this system. I still have occasional days where I'm in pain, but it's a rare occurrence now, usually from injury, not from just some random pain for no reason. And if you can reduce the symptoms of your chronic disease, maybe you have heart disease, maybe you have diabetes, maybe you have some autoimmune condition or cancer, there are things that you can do that are not medical, which will absolutely put your body in a better state where it can deal with whatever the issue is that's affecting you. I studied medicine for a reason, because I wanted to develop drugs to help people cure illness, but then I realized when I was in the second year of uni that there was basically no way that I could morally accept the fact that people are basically ransomed for all their money because they need a pill to cure a disease that shouldn't exist. The problem is they treat conditions. You've got a chronic condition, therefore we need to give you pills and other treatments all your life. But what if you cure the person? What if you didn't have to live with diabetes for 30 years and pay all that money for your insulin or other medications? What if those costs didn't exist? Because diabetes is so rare in society that it's not an issue, and the people that need those medicines can get them, and there shouldn't be hundreds of dollars a month for something that was made for free. The guy who invented insulin gave the recipe away, and yet people are still dying because they can't get their insulin, because they can't afford it. This is disgusting. The pharmaceutical industry needs to can take a look at itself. That's why I quit. I can't be a part of an industry that will watch people die for money. That's just not what I can't stand for that kind of behaviour. So I quit the pharmaceutical industry and I entered into a different industry. But I didn't stop studying science. I read scientific studies all the time. Everything that I'm going to teach you in this system is because I've studied it for years. Some of these things I've been studying 30 years. When I first, at this point when I was 100 kilos, I had nothing to lose. I wanted to die anyway. So I was like, well, I either change my behavior or I'm going to end up either killed at school because of the relentless bullying was just so much that if they didn't kill me, I would have killed myself. But I didn't, luckily, and I wish now that I could have the knowledge that's in my brain and give it to him, because I wanted to let him know he's going to be okay. He's going to be okay. You can cure what you're suffering from. You don't have to suffer anymore. For 25 years, I went to doctors like, I'm in pain, can you help me? And they never, ever gave me any solution. All they did was give me painkillers. Take paracetamol. Oh great, but why? Why do I need the paracetamol? Because I'm in pain. Why am I in pain? And no doctor ever told me. So I went on a journey to figure it out. And I tried hundreds of experiments on myself. I tried all different kinds of diets. I tried all different kinds of exercises and the health practices and all sorts of stuff. Some things made things worse, other things made things better. But over the last 30 years, I have developed the BPM Lifestyle system, which I'm going to teach you step by step because it's long and complicated. So the next video I'll give you an introduction to the basics of it, and then I'm going to break it down into all the individual steps. It's completely for free. It doesn't cost you any money to buy the system. I'm going to give you the system. I'm going to give you all the information you need to do it yourself. Go through step by step everything I teach you, and I guarantee 100% that you will improve your quality of life. Whether you will completely reverse a chronic disease, it may be too late for that, or it may be something that cannot be reversed by this lifestyle system. But 80% of chronic disease is because of your lifestyle. I know people don't want to accept the fact that it's their fault, that they're sick, but in the vast majority of cases, that is the fact. That the way you've treated your body has caused unimaginable damage to it, and now disease has come out of the treatment that you've given your body. So you can pop pills all day to try and mitigate the damage that you're doing by your lifestyle, or maybe change your lifestyle and help your body get into a state where it can try to heal itself. The human body is an amazing machine. It wants to live purely with its DNA in the structure that it was designed in, and that requires specific nutrients to support it. Else you are made of cells, and your cells need nutrition. They need specific types of nutrition. And if you don't give your body what it needs, it can't do its job, and it will get sick. And 90% of what people eat, drink, and put in their bodies is so toxic that we have this massive epidemic of chronic illness. And because of this, the hospitals are so overrun. In England, you can't get appointments for months and months and months of waiting lists because there's not enough doctors to cope with all the illness that people suffer from their own actions. So I'm going to teach you how to make better choices that will support your natural biology. My focus in science was chemistry with medicinal biology. I wanted to design drugs to fix the problems. But there are other ways to fix it without drugs. Because drugs depend on having a pharmaceutical industry to make it for you and charge you God knows how much money. Whereas if you go to natural sources, like plants, and get your medication from there, it doesn't cost anything and the pharmaceutical companies go bankrupt. Oops! That'd be a shame. It'd be a shame if they couldn't make trillions of dollars from you being sick. Please wake up. Please wake up. I'm going to teach you everything I know because I'm trying to help people not suffer quite such miserable lives because of the way our society is built around poisoning you to the point where you need more poison to keep you alive longer. It's madness to live like this. So I'm going to teach you how I originally lost 35 kilos and although that didn't cure my chronic illnesses, it did make me feel a little better. My mental health improved a little bit up until I was in my early 20s. My mental health was unstable, but better than being suicidal. I didn't know at the time what autism, ADHD, and all these other mental conditions. I didn't know anything about them. They weren't talked about in the 80s. I'm old. This is new information now. You can have kids with ADHD and autism much in the 80s. It was, you were just a bad kid. You were just naughty. You just got spanked by parents. That was the ADHD treatment back then, a beating. The school wasn't great. It didn't get much better because even though the bullying for being fat stopped, the bullying for being gay started. So I went from one group of idiots to another group of idiots, all just fucking causing me problems for no reason other than their fucking ignorance. So that wasn't particularly good for my mental health either. But in 2001, I discovered a secret in chemistry which really pissed me off. There are cures for countless mental health conditions that are not available to people. And this is the second sickening thing about the pharmaceutical industry, that if you invent a cure, you are basically ostracized and shut down and made to sound crazy or criminalized, locked up, or just discredited. I don't know how much I'm actually allowed to say on here before I actually get kicked off, but I'm going to try and teach you the truth as far as I understand it to be through chemistry. Chemistry is fundamentally the ultimate truth. Atoms cannot do what you want them to do. They do what they're going to do, and you can just put them in the right conditions to do that. As a chemist, it's like playing Lego with atoms. You have certain ways of mixing these atoms together to make molecules, and those molecules to make organisms, and the way you manipulate them is based on a certain set of laws. You can't just make any atom stick to any atom. There are rules involved in terms of their electron arrangement and the number of protons they have, and lots of complicated stuff. And I'm going to try to translate chemistry into an understandable format that anybody without any chemistry or science knowledge can get the idea of. So I'm going to tell biochemistry stories through metaphor to try and get you to understand mechanisms of action rather than the actual complicated mathematics of how atoms interact with each other, which is far beyond your necessary knowledge to understand this system. So I'm going to waffle on for the next 20 years, trying to teach you everything I know, because I believe knowledge should be shared with people, because keeping secrets to make billions and billions of dollars from people's suffering is sickness in its definition. I don't understand how people can just watch someone die because they can't afford a medication that costs such a ridiculous amount of money that no human on earth could afford to pay it. This is ridiculous. Why do people accept this? Why do you accept the fact that you go to a doctor in America and you may end up bankrupt? Bankrupt, not just like, oh shit, I've got a big bill to pay. Lose your house. What the fuck? This is ridiculous. So if you live in America, you 100% need to follow this system, because your medical system is just trying to get every single dollar out of you possible. And just why are you doing it? You can make better choices. We make our choices based on our knowledge and beliefs. But when you're programmed with incorrect information, you make choices based on false beliefs. And if you never listen to somebody else's ideas, other than just what you were told by the newspaper, told by the TV station, told by your parents, told by your teachers, told by your doctor, what if they're all wrong? What are you going to do then? What if they're all wrong? What if they've been teaching you stuff that's designed to keep you in a lower state of health and mental health and just generally unable to live your dream life? Because if you're constantly sick, you can't chase your dreams. If you're constantly sick, you can't look after your kids. Why don't you want to be healthier? And all you need to do is change one little switch in your brain. So all it takes, just to change your point of view. And if you can do it, and if you follow the 21 steps in this system, which is going to be for free, I'm not charging you any money for the basic information. If you want help with it, I can coach people through the transformation, and I guarantee within 6 months you'll be a new person completely. You won't even recognize who you were before, because that's what happened to me. I was when I developed this final system, which I'm going to teach you now. It's been through many iterations in the past, but 10 years ago when I was homeless was the catalyst that set everything else into motion, that ended 25 years of chronic pain and transformed my life to the point where I now live in absolute paradise. I have muscles now compared to big rolls of fat. I'm 44 years old, so it's 30 years on from this picture. And a lot of people, when they lose weight, they gain it back. And I kept doing that. I kept losing weight and then gain it back, losing weight, gain it back, losing weight, gain it back again, until I was 34 when I was homeless and I discovered a new way of life. And within 6 months, my pain was gone for the first time in 25 years. And I never thought that would be it. I never thought I'd experience that day where there was no pain for the whole day. It was a miracle. The only time I'd ever had anything like that was when I was on severe amounts of drugs. But I don't want to be on severe amounts of drugs all the time. It's a bit difficult to live. So I wanted to find a way to cure myself without drugs. And I kind of did that, but it depends on your definition of a drug. I'm talking about the artificial manufactured stuff from pharmaceutical industries, not the natural occurring plants. Plant medicine is, it's still a drug technically, but it's a natural form of medication that's been used for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, tens of thousands of years. And they banned it because it cures diseases that they can treat for years. Okay, so yeah, understanding chemistry will unlock a lot of understanding about the world and your body and your mind and everything else. So in the next video, I'm going to give you the overview of the 21 steps of the BPM Lifestyle. Every step is free. Every step can be done by majority of humans. If you're a human and you have arms and legs, then you can do this. If you're paralyzed or in a wheelchair or something, then some of these things you would have to modify a little bit. You might not be able to do all of the things on the list. It's designed to be as broad affecting as possible, so that there's very few people that would not be able to follow this system. And it's designed to put your body into a state where it can try to repair itself if there is current damage, or it will try to prevent future damage by boosting your immunity and your risk of chronic disease. So I've waffled on way too long already. I keep getting told I waffle on too much, but that's who I am. So if you want to see more waffling, then subscribe and I will waffle some more and teach you how to change your life once and for all. And you can then change everybody else's lives around you. Bye for now.